Let's make it a good day.
Today on The Jason Show, we called it. See the prediction that came true about the identities of the latest Masked Singers. Plus, the hills are alive with drama.
I would say arranged marriage.
The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City make their debut, and you won't believe some of the storylines. And pie, and more pie. Stephanie Hansen is sharing her picks for the best local pies for your Thanksgiving table, as well as a few tips for making pie at home.
Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Jason Show, the midweek edition. Wait, it's Thursday, not Wednesday. We are almost through the week. Awesome. Hey, I'm Shane Wells. I am in for Jason today.
And I'm Kendall Mark, and I'm still Kendall Mark. Yeah.
still Kendall.
It's all good. It's all good. It's still me. So just a couple of seconds ago, before we came on, we were showing a crash around in the Northwest Metro this morning. Oh my Lanta, can you imagine if that snow would have hit us this morning again? Ooh,
Right.
Like
you
right
have
here in the
had
heart of the Twin Cities.
already a busy week.
Well,
with the
I mean,
snow.
just like people driving, they'd go from
Oh, yeah.
70s for a full week and then like, all right, everyone hates us.
It's been a rough transition, but we're lucky to have that at least one bright spot.
I know.
One last weekend of joy.
I know. And if you're watching this later and you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's totally fine. You missed it. It's okay. It's okay. So how are you today, Shane? I mean, today, no audience. We're not throwing you for too big of a loop.
Okay, good. I'm settling in my new surroundings because like I said, every time I fill in, there's all sorts of new things to learn. Graphics, vending machines, virtual audiences. So what do we have today, guys?
I like how you called that a vending machine. Our gumball machine is now a vending machine.
It's very high tech.
You never know what you're going to get out of it. Just push a button and something happens.
How about you? Did you do anything fun last night? Because you don't have children, so you get to do fun things still.
I know. Like sometimes when you say it that way, it makes me like, maybe I should just not have children. I love kids, to be very 127% clear. But I like worked out. We just got a home gym. Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you.
Well, what does that mean?
Okay.
Like, what does that entail?
This is quite the story. So we got one of those systems with the pulley things. My husband's gonna be like, Kendall, it's called this. He says it all the time.
Bowflex?
Not a Bowflex.
Is that a thing still?
Something like that, right?
Do you remember those commercials? I still, yeah. Okay.
So it's something, no, it's not the Nordic track. It's something like that with the pulley stuff. Anyway,
Sounds
so we
fancy.
got it in on Monday, and my husband and I have just been so excited to use it because we haven't been to the gym in forever.
So you've been like hitting the gym hard, the indoor gym hard.
All 2 days. We hit it really hard. My
Are you
arms
sore?
are so sore. My arms are super sore, but it's good. I mean, I'm anticipating seeing how this goes as the year goes on, because we were like, it's a big investment,
Right.
but we're in a pandemic, so it's probably worth it. Who knows if in 2 months we'll still be using it, or if it's just collecting dust in the basement. But,
And it's sold.
That's what you do when you don't have kids. You buy gym equipment. Put it
Okay.
in your
No, that's
basement.
exciting. That's a big deal.
Thank you. It takes
Yeah.
a long time to get too. Don't even get me started on the Peloton.
Oh, I bet.
Girl.
Yeah.
All right. Enough about me. It's time for you, everyone. It's time for the hot.
A big old
I'll
hoop in.
just scoop my cup that way. All right, there was another unmasking last night on The Masked Singer. Now, before we recap the night, don't worry, roll it, Leo. Spoiler alert, we shall not spoil for you. Okay, the only duo in the show, the Snow Owls, were sent packing. Before I tell you who they were, take a look at their performance from last night and see if you can figure it out.
When I was weak, you were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me, lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believe I'm everything I am.
Such a good song. Now, you may recall, if you're thinking about this, the Jason Show research team had predicted about the Snow Owls more than a month ago. See, we're still researching. Thank you. Beautiful.
That's
beautiful
new.
graphic.
That's new. What is happening?
Okay, so just to remind you and to be very clear that we were right, maybe, here's a look from the hot dish on October 8th.
No. Okay, so for the snow owls, producer Jeff just figured it out, and it's it. Take it to the bank. Ready? Clint Black and wife Lisa Hartman Black. Lisa Hartman Black, former star of Knots Landing. But yeah.
Oh, her.
Yes. Now you're just humoring me. But do you know who Clint Black is, don't you?
Maybe.
Okay.
Do I know who Clint Black is?
Okay. We're just gonna. Is this full today?
See, Ted doesn't know either.
Ted knows who Clint Black is.
He just told
Oh
me.
my goodness, Ted just told me in my ear he's never heard of Clint Black.
So,
Wow.
you know, I'm still wearing the same skirt too. The Jason Show research team, were we right, people? Oh, hey, we sure
Wow, Jeff.
Uh-huh.
Nailed
Lisa
it.
Hartman Black and Clint Black. Now, I did do some research after being very embarrassed because I am from the sticks that I didn't know who he was. I got some feedback. I'm sorry, America. I'm sorry, Red Wing. I have heard of him. Yes, I've heard his music. Thank you. I'm just so bad at that game. Like, you were a radio DJ. You get it. You know, like, names with songs. I'm terrible at this.
Except it's okay.
you.
It's not everybody's genre.
Thank
You
you.
were forgiven, and you're also young.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We can talk about how young I am again.
I know,
the
right?
next 40
Jason's
years.
not here, so we'll move on. All right, next up, friendships, religion, some major drama. The newest Real Housewives franchise debuted last night on Bravo, taking us all to Salt Lake City.
And one of the most talked about new housewives is Mary. Okay, put your listening ears in. She happens to be married to her late grandmother's second husband.
Wait.
Late grandmother's second husband. Take a look.
I've been married 21 years, so I know.
Everyone in Salt Lake City knows the story about Mary and her step-grandfather.
We were kind of a, I would say, arranged marriage type. It was kind of in my grandma's will for us to marry.
She said, if anything ever happens to me, Bobby, I want you to marry one of my girls because they'll look out for you.
We're blessed to this day because of it.
Blessed or something, you know? After her marriage.
Is that legal?
Yeah, no, it's apparently. Mary inherited her family's empire of churches, restaurants, and more. So that's the ticker there, right? Is that she inherited the family fortune, the family, at least their restaurants and their entire church for marrying her step-grandfather.
Is anybody else still processing this?
Everyone,
Okay,
literally everyone. He was younger than I thought he'd be, though. I'll give it that.
All right, I'm not going to say anything. Okay. Yeah. Religion, by the way, plays a really big part of the show, too, with one of the cast members being excommunicated from the Mormon religion. Watch this.
Together, we've experienced the highest of highs. We've experienced some of the lowest of lows.
Whitney and I are cousins. She fell in love with Justin. They had this illicit, torrid affair, and as a result, they were both excommunicated from the church.
Oh, my goodness. That is Whitney, who was forced out of Mormonism after cheating on her husband. Early reviews suggest the show is going to be a big hit, and I am completely just so intrigued by all this that I just heard. And again, still processing a lot of the information, though. I will be watching this one.
Okay,
You?
so this little tiny clip we showed at the very end of what you just saw, it was like old-timey pictures. Apparently this woman who's been kicked out of the Mormon church, she claims her great-great-great whatever grandfather was a bodyguard for the original founders of the Mormon church.
Wow.
So the fact that she got, that clip later
Yeah,
goes
she's
on
royalty,
to show her.
basically.
Yeah, it shows her getting married again, which was lovely, and then on to a stripper pole. So it's a really, I'm hooked, and I don't watch these shows at all. Like, anyone who watches the show knows that I always just look at Jason. Yeah, I'm actually intrigued. You lived around the area, kind of.
So I lived in Boise for a while, but I actually had my bachelorette party in Salt Lake City, which people, they do that. They do that every time. So my best friends live in Boise, and then I'm here. And so we were trying to find some kind of middle ground. And Salt Lake is actually very fun and beautiful. And we went to Park City.
Oh, Park City is pretty cool.
Which is amazing too. So it was actually a really great time. Yeah. Salt Lake City is just full of mysteries, and I can't wait to unravel them all with this
Shane,
show.
you are full of mysteries. The fact that your bachelorette party was in Salt Lake City.
I love blowing people's mind with that. Not Vegas, Utah.
My mind is blown.
All right, next in the dish, big news for Bachelor Nation. There is another Bachelor baby, sort of. Someone from The Bachelor is expecting, and you may remember her or her voice. Jimmy Kimmel called it the most annoying voice in TV history. Watch this.
How are you?
A little bit about me. Excuse me, ladies. Hi, guys. Hi. My evening's going amazing because I have a rose. Cheers. Okay. Hi, guys. How exciting. Yeah, I like this. Hi.
Crystal.
Guys, Crystal's pregnant.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was on Ari's season, and then she appeared on Bachelor in Paradise, where she eventually married Chris. And then that didn't work out, and now she's dating a non-Bachelor guy and going to be expecting, and she can speak to her baby in that beautiful baby voice that she has.
That she has perfected over the years. So I didn't even know that she'd split up from the guy that she married, which was you guys need to Google this. It's just a fascinating slew of information. But happy for her, great that she's having a baby. I agree, though, that was one of the most annoying voices in television history.
And it wasn't her real voice.
No, that was the thing. When she came back on Bachelor in Paradise, she's like, oh no, that was all just fake.
Yeah, we all took note.
Did you think it sounded good? I don't know. All right, anyway, still ahead. Rebecca goes home to Tennessee just before Christmas. That was annoying and horrible too. And reconnects with her childhood crush. But are the sparks still there? Producer Tad will give us his latest Christmas movie review.
I wasn't sure where that was going. Plus, Dax Holt chatted with the former best friend of Kim Kardashian. Can we say that on here now? And his interview is the talk of Hollywood. We will get the scoop.
And then, well, need a pie for Thanksgiving. Stephanie Hansen has her picks for the best local pies in the Twin Cities. The Jason Show will be right back.
You went Southern again.
I know, because we're talking about pie.
And Rebecca.
Like the first night, I got home like 3:30 in the morning, Wednesday morning, and I knew I had to get 2 hours sleep and come right back. But I was just responding to some emails and sending out some emails with questions in the battleground states that hadn't been called. And I could see some of it then, and I realized, number one, it was global. The interest in the election was global. But I think the most gratifying thing was the interest of young people. I have a TikTok fan cam, and I'm on Jimmy Kimmel in the same week. My nine-year-old is going to think I'm cool for about 40 seconds. And we knew Saturday morning we were getting close. I never know exactly how close, but we knew we were getting close. And then we had some results come in from Philadelphia in the city, and I'm here doing my thing, and they say, keep going. And I'm like, okay, and I keep going. And then they say, Wolf, Wolf, Wolf. And I turn to Wolf, and there it was, the magic of Wolf Blitzer.
Wolf gets to make the call. You're not allowed to jump in and make the call before Wolf, right?
No, that would be like a mutiny.
Yeah, right, exactly.
They frown on that.
Straight up mutiny. CNN's John King, who, like Steve Kornacki, was on his feet for like literally days at the magic wall, pushing buttons.
And their geographical knowledge is like
Insane.
none other.
Second to
Amazing.
none.
Our hot dish continues this morning with our insider to the stars. Please welcome back from the Hollywood Raw podcast, Dax Holt. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. How you doing today?
Hey,
we're good.
Hey.
We good.
So Dax, I'm not gonna lie, I think I've never been so excited about hearing one of your stories because I really, really love the people that this person is talking about. There were two big news stories this week. It was politics, and then honestly, your guest on the podcast. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, I gotta say, our podcast pretty much broke the internet.
It did. It broke the internet.
During an election cycle, so that was pretty impressive. But we had Larsa Pippen on the Hollywood Raw podcast. You know, a lot of people know her from the Keeping Up with the Kardashians show. She was friends with Kim for like a decade and some change. And so she was really close with the family, saw her all the time, paparazzi photos of them out eating lunch and hanging out with birthday parties together. And then come the beginning of this year, the relationship seemed to just disappear, and they unfollowed each other on social media. And of course, this day and age, unfollowing each other on social media is like the biggest thing you can do to end a friendship. And so a lot of fans started questioning what happened between these two. Nothing had ever come out. And we got Larsa on the podcast, and she talked all about it. And she was so honest and real. And she said, look, I love Kim. I love the girls. She goes, but I think Kanye has kind of essentially been brainwashing the family into not liking me. She goes, Kanye and I were really close for a long time. He would call me up in the middle of the night. He would do his rants, and I was always there to listen to him. And then she goes, I got to a point where I couldn't listen to it anymore. And so I blocked him. And she goes, I think when I blocked him, that's when everything changed. And she goes, I just couldn't do it for myself. And so she says that he's kind of been in the ear of the sisters and talking about Larsa and being like, this person needs to be out of our life. And next thing you know, Kim kind of cleared her out of her life. And she goes, but listen, she has no hard feelings about it. She goes, if me being out of your life makes your relationship with your husband healthier, then do it. And she is okay with it. And she gets it. And she goes, I think a lot of people that are struggling with stuff, they project that onto other people. And she goes, I understand it. He needs to figure himself out. Let me step out of the picture.
Girl. Okay, do you really think that she felt that way, though? Because Larsa, when I watch the Kardashians, when she's been on other things, I mean, she's pretty snap, hey, what's up, girl? I can't see her not taking this a little bit to heart, but you didn't get that vibe at all.
Don't get me wrong. She said, she goes, I'm hurt by the situation. I'm hurt that my friend, she goes, I was there when North was born. Like, we have gone through so much together. So yeah, she definitely says that she is hurt. She misses her friend, but she also understands that, like, she doesn't want to come between someone and their husband. You know what I'm saying? And if he is not feeling her vibe, then she is happy to move on. She's like, I've got lots of friends. I've got lots of family around me. I'm not going to sit here and dwell and question for the rest of my life. I have to, like, move on. And if it's meant to be and that friendship to come back together, then they will. But it wasn't just the Kardashians that she talked about. I mean, she got into everything. A lot of, there's been a lot of speculations over the years because she dated Future for a little bit. And everyone called her a cheater and said she was cheating on Scottie Pippen. And she goes, we weren't together. I didn't really air my dirty laundry out there to everyone. We weren't together. She broke down the whole timeline. She goes, Scottie was doing his thing, I was doing my thing, but of course people turned it into a bigger story than it really was. And then the other rumor that's been floating around is the fact that people have been saying that she hooked up with Tristan Thompson,
Yes.
Chloe's man. And she goes, guys, I'm not here to ruin relationships. She goes, and to be totally honest with you, she goes, I was seeing Tristan first. She goes, I was seeing him. I brought him out to LA before any of the Kardashians even knew who he was. I brought him to a party at Kim's place. I introduced him to the whole family, and Chloe started dating him like a week later. And she goes, and that was fine with me. She goes, that was it. I know I haven't hooked up with him since then. She goes, but it's just weird how the rumors just keep spiraling around her.
Wow. Okay, Dax, before we let you go, I just have to ask, you've interviewed some really awesome celebrities. This happens to be the one that just blows up the internet, like you said. What was that like for you? And you're like, wow, this is the story? Okay.
No, I mean, listen, we knew before we pushed the publish button on this one that people were going to go insane over it. We actually were going to release this one last week, but the election results, we were like, are they going to come in? Are they not going to come in? Because we don't want to publish on this huge interview and then no one talks about it. So we waited a couple days, released it on Monday. It went wild, as we knew, but I don't think we knew how big it was going to get. I mean, we're excited when the Daily Mail does one story on our podcast, and they did 6 consecutive stories about different parts of our podcast and responses. And I mean, it was on Cosmo. Vanity Fair did something on our podcast. Wow. That is amazing. So. I know. Please go listen to it. Hollywood Raw. I trust me, you will enjoy it. She is so honest, and that's what I love.
Well, you blew up my timeline. It was just all about Hollywood Raw and Larsa Pippen. Thank you, Dax. You guys, you can find Hollywood Raw podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Shane.
Best week ever for Hollywood Raw, man.
I know. You know how I love the Kardashians.
But what a twisted web they weave. I mean, there's a lot of people in the world. How is it that they've all dated the same, 5 people?
I don't know.
Spread the love.
I know. And one thing they talked about that he didn't just mention, but they talked a little bit about how Larsa supposedly hit on one of the other Kardashian sisters, what's her name? Kylie, on her baby daddy. I mean, it was really interesting. And in case you didn't know, yes, she was married to Scottie Pippen for a very long time. So both fans.
So we can say that word on air now, because that used to be a banned word. That
Scottie Pippen?
No, the last name. That Kardashian.
Oh, Kardashian.
There was
my
a time
fault.
that was a swear jar thing, so I guess
know.
that's over. All right. Next up in the dish, The Grinch, the musical, is actually coming to network TV next month. And now we know who's actually going to play the Grinch. It's a big deal. It was revealed on the Today Show. Watch this.
NBC is going to bring Dr. Seuss's The Grinch musical to TV this December, and I will be playing the dastardly but lovable Grinch. While the pandemic presents some challenges in bringing the stage musical to life, we are putting together a really special show with some crazy, fun, imaginative things going on.
So you might have noticed that was Matthew Morrison from Glee. He is set to play the Grinch. This is NBC's latest attempt at a live musical following The Sound of Music, Peter Pan, Hairspray, and Jesus Christ Superstar. Do we need another Grinch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say the opposite.
We need more Christmas all of the time.
There's 114 versions already. Plenty are very acceptable to watch.
Okay, but I have no rebuttal, actually. No, it's true. But I really like him.
Do you see him as the Grinch? I'm having a bit of a problem with that, but I know there's a lot of makeup and
because you like Glee.
Transform.
Yeah.
I never watched Glee. That might actually be my problem.
What?
It's true.
Oh my
Don't throw the
gosh.
table. Let's not throw the table. It looks like you're about to do a Therese, whatever, Gidici, whatever her name is, table flip.
Flip the table over this. Oh man. All right, next up, something new to see at the Mall of America. Not a store, but an experience.
A new exhibit that takes people inside one of the most famous works of art. I checked out the new Sistine Chapel exhibit earlier this morning. We are getting a first look at the new Sistine Chapel exhibit at the Mall of America. You heard me right. The Sistine Chapel ceiling exhibit, Michelangelo's work, at the Mall of America. Jill Renslow joins us this morning. Jill, first of all, tell us, where are we in the Mall of America? What was this?
Yeah, we're on the north side, level 2, right next to JW Marriott. So super easy to come in right off the north entrance. 10,000 square feet of this amazing exhibit. That's a really safe option for families to do this holiday season.
One thing that's cool too, the audio app, I was excited to hear about that because you do have, these explainers next to all the pictures that tell you a little bit more about the piece, but I want to look at it and have somebody tell me.
Yeah, that's what's fantastic, is you can listen and take it all in, but you can look at all the beautiful artwork. So to be able to have it on your own device or to use their audio system, it's fantastic, and it makes it really enjoyable, and you can get up close and personal. You can take photos. You don't have to, have your neck strained to look at the ceilings. It's nice to have a little bit of room come here to Mall of America.
And you and I were lucky enough to have been there. You are very crammed in there. You're moved through very fast, and you don't have a lot of time to get every detail, even though you want to. So this is really a great chance to be able to do that. Will you explain too the pictures out in front?
Absolutely. Every
this
artwork
is so cool
piece,
to me.
Yeah, they explain each one of them. They have the written components as well as you have the audio. But what's great is they have a visual indicator of where that artwork is located on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
This is very cool and a great addition for the holidays, I'm sure, at the Mall of America, where things are going to be a little bit different this year.
Yes, everything's a little bit different, but it's great to not only recreate some of our traditions that we've had for years past, but to bring in some new experiences as well.
We're excited to see this. This opens, by the way, on Friday at 10 a.m. It runs through January 31st. If you want to find out more, you can go to chapelsistine.com. Okay, that was pretty cool. I gotta be honest. I got lucky to go there when I was in college, but you are pushed through with thousands of people. You have like no time, and you're like doing this thing, and so it's hard to really like take it all in.
Right.
So that was kind of a cool way to see it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, because I did the same thing on our honeymoon, and Jordan and I kind of said the same thing. Like, this is an amazing experience, but I want to look at the art. But you're like,
and take time to like dive into each picture. This, you can actually stand in front of it. Your phone will activate. It'll tell you the story of that particular piece of the ceiling. So yeah,
I like it.
Not bad. Opens up on Friday. Still ahead, we are eagerly awaiting producer Ted's latest Christmas movie review.
Are we? Just kidding. But next, need some pie for the holidays? Stephanie Hansen will join us with her picks for the best local spots for pie, and she's got some pie tips. We will be right back.
Favorite pie?
Maybe? I don't know. Welcome back to the Jason Show, or as we call it on Thursdays, specifically Thursday, November 12th, the Shendel Show. Thanksgiving is quickly approaching, and so are the deadlines to get your pies if you don't want to make your own.
Joining us with some of the best local spots to get a pie, Stephanie Hansen from The Weekly Dish. Hey, oh, and she's got a spread today.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hi, gals. I guess it's Ladies' Day.
Yeah.
We're totally into it, feeling the vibe, and I think it's really important that Ladies' Day includes pie.
Oh, absolutely. And not just one, but 5 special pies here for you ladies. So Thanksgiving, right? It's a tradition to have pie, and Thanksgiving's going to look a little bit different this year simply because people are going to be having smaller gatherings likely. So I always think it's delicious to bring someone a pie when you go to their house. Maybe you're not a baker and you need to buy a pie anyway. But I think this year too, one of the ideas that I had from a listener was to buy pies for people that you would normally be celebrating Thanksgiving with and drop them off at their house, which I thought was a really nice way to share Thanksgiving if you can't be together.
Right, absolutely. I mean, and there's some pies, some places I know that I've heard of that are actually doing the delivery for you. But one of the ones that you're highlighting today, I'm pretty excited just because of the things that it says is in the pie. That's Grocer's Table Pie, streusel and caramel topped pie.
Oh.
Okay, you guys, can you see the caramel in that? So this is a pie that Lindsay, the owner, makes for her family. She's got 3 boys, and she sent me the nicest note when I told her that I wanted to feature the pie. She actually made this in her home kitchen last night for me, and it just looks absolutely beautiful and will be so delicious on your taste. Caramely, it's appley, and then you serve it with drizzled caramel. It's delicious.
How much is it killing you right now to not just take a quick little bite and just kind of like cover up the side?
I might. You just don't know what happens behind the scenes.
Okay, next up was a surprise for me because it's Serdik's Cheese Shop for pie.
Yeah, so you wouldn't think that a liquor store would be making amazing pies, but they are. All organic, all butter, all natural butter, organic. And this is an apple pie, a very classic apple. This is a $20 pie, which is really a value. Most of the pies that you pick up are going to be anywhere between $25 and $35. So they do a really great job. And you just order it ahead of time, and then you go by Serdik's and pick it up. And you can also pick up your wine or whatever else you need. They also do like gravy and cranberries and all the sides. So if you just want to do the turkey, you could get all the rest of the items at Serdik's.
That pie looked like very heavy too. Like that looked like a good solid pie.
Substantial.
I like when you said all butter.
Substantial.
All butter all the time.
All
you guys,
butter.
my whole house smells like butter right now and like delicious baked goods like a bakery. It's incredible.
Oh, I want to live there. All right, next one, pretty popular with some folks around the metro. This is Yum Bakery.
Yeah, so Yum Bakery is known for their yum cake, but look at this beautiful pecan pie. Again, Yum does whole piece. They've got a really cute mini pumpkin cheesecake that you can order if you're just having a small, like you and one other person. And they've got all the Thanksgiving fixings too. So the turkey, the mashed potatoes, the gravy, but I mean, their crust, come on, it's delicious.
I like the idea of the small mini too, because sometimes you don't want all the leftovers. You are so full the next day, but then you have to eat it anyway.
Shani,
yeah?
You're the only one that doesn't want the leftovers. All the rest of us are like, bring it on.
That's true.
Okay, I'll accept that. That's totally true. Next up, we got honey and rye.
So this is a maple pumpkin pie.
Ooh.
And she's got the little whipped cream and little candied nuts on the top. This crust too, all butter, organic, just delicious. I really love pumpkin pie, but I realize it's kind of polarizing. They also have a pecan pie. They've got a banana cream pie too. So if you've got someone in your family that's not interested in the seasonal pies, they've got some traditional ones too. I love pumpkin pie. Like, I don't know why we can't have pumpkin pie in the summer and not just at Thanksgiving. But that's
Me too. That's like one of my favorite pies in the whole world. And specifically, I'm really glad you brought that one up because Honey and Rye is one of my favorite bakeries. And that pie is so good.
They're lovely. And I will say, make sure you order ahead because the bakery is not open. They're just doing curbside pickup. So they're going to be baking and handing it to you with list delivery.
Ooh, lovely. All right, finally, hot hands, pies, and biscuits.
Yeah, look at this. Just, you can tell how homemade and delicious this crust is. Ooh. This is a pecan chess pie, which is a little different than kind of the more syrupy based traditional pies. It's got sweetened condensed milk in it. It's from the South. It's a really delicious take on pecan pie. Hot Hands is a cute little hip spot on Snelling Ave, St. Paul that's opened fairly recently. They've also got little hand pies. They've got mini biscuits. Again, ordering online, and then you can pick up on the day before Thanksgiving and have yourself a pie. And again, all these places, they're going to be making pies for you, but order ahead. You can order and you can pay online, and then you just pull up and pick it up.
Great ideas. My only complaint with your segment is that I think we need to have some in studio too, just so we have a closer look. So I'll just throw that out there.
You guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I cannot wait to come back in the studio. It's been a long time when I did a social media post. It's hard to do TV at home.
It is. You do a great job though.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
Thank you.
One of the best. All right, more with Stephanie Hansen because she is the best coming up, including her tips on making pies at home. That's right, when we come back. I was doing the next thing. Welcome back to the Jason Show, temporarily the Shendel Show. And we are back with Stephanie Hansen from The Weekly Dish. We're talking pie, and specifically pie tricks.
Are either of you guys bakers?
Steph, no,
Not
I
a
can't
pie
cook
baker.
a thing. No, I can't cook anything. So
Kendall's like, Steph, come on, why are you asking me this? Well, I did something a couple years ago that was fun. I took a class from a Twin Cities woman whose name is Heather's Pies. And I took a class and she taught me how to make pie. So I'm going to give you some tips if you decide that you're going to be the person that's going to make the pie at home.
Ooh,
so
I love
the first is, yeah, you really want to start with cold ingredients. So your butter needs to be cold. If you have your apples, if you're making apple pie, everything should be cold. The second tip is something that people really don't know about, and I swear it makes a huge difference. So this is Land O'Lakes high-fat butter. It's a fairly new product. They also have Kerrygold high-fat butter, but they call them European butters, and there's more fat in the butters, so it makes your dough easier to roll. It gives you more air pockets, so your dough is more flaky. This is like a pie-changing game changer, and I use all butter in my pies.
And can you
other
get
stuff,
that
just
anywhere?
all butter.
Steph, can you get that high-fat butter anywhere?
You can. It's in your grocery stores. It's in your premium stores. Land O'Lakes just is carrying this. I think I picked this up at Cub Foods. So yeah, you can. It's brand new.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got all your cold ingredients. You also want to only add a little bit of water when you're making your pie, right? Because you want to have it so that the ingredients come together, but that it's not super wet. A trick is after you've put the amount of water in your pie, and different recipes have different combinations, if it still feels dry, add like a teaspoon or two of vodka.
What?
I know you don't want to waste it. I know. The vodka evaporates when baking, so it doesn't really make a wet crust. It just kind of gives it that little that you need to pull it all together for the rolling.
Oh, so you do like a shot for you, a shot for me. Welcome.
That was a big plot twist.
Pretty much. Also, I got this when I went to the pie class. It's kind of like a dowel. And you notice it's a little bit smaller than this rolling pin's pretty small too, but have the right rolling pin that you feel good about using and roll towards you and then turn your dough, roll towards you, turn your dough. We're always looking like this. You don't want to roll out. Make it so that it's a more manageable process for you. And this is another great tool, the pastry scraper, because you can scrape the flour together. You can cut the butter with it, get it all in a pile on your board that you're using to make your dough, and then get it all together with your hands. And don't touch your dough too much because your hands are hot, right? So you're going to warm up that butter. Everything, keeping it cold is key. So get the dough together, put it in a disc, put it in the refrigerator, roll it out, put it in the refrigerator, give it some time to just rest in the refrigerator, and then assemble your pie, and then put that in the refrigerator before you bake it, just for 10 minutes to get it cold, and then throw it in a hot oven, 400 degrees, and then turn the oven down after 10 minutes so that the inside cooks.
Oh, so a really hot oven right off the bat is important.
Yeah, because what happens is that butter then melts, but it sets the crust. This is a beautiful example, this Certix pie. It sets the crust, and then you turn it down lower so that the inside apples have a chance to really bake.
Wow. I didn't know a lot about pie baking, but it sounds really complicated. I'm going to be honest.
It does kind of until you do it the first time. And I don't know why, but there's nothing more rewarding than making your own pie. Like you feel like Martha Stewart, and if Martha Stewart can do it, you can too. It's just the dough is, you got to get it together, keeping all the ingredients cold, and then just rolling it out and practice a little bit. Like when I first made some pies, I didn't have the dough chilled enough. So when I would cook it in the oven, the crust would slump down a little bit in the pan. After that happened 2 times, I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's because I haven't chilled the dough long enough. So you just kind of, you learn as you go.
And real quick, Steph, you did have some store-bought crust that you like, just in case you're like, moi, and that could turn into a massive disaster.
You can. I do like store-bought crusts. I think that they do a good job for the most part. It's not the same, but if you're so freaked out by making pie crust, then just pick up some Pillsbury crust. It's fine. They're delicious. You would buy a couple so that you can have maybe one to practice, and then one is like your presentation pie. I usually, if I have guests, I might make 2 of something just so that I can pick the one that looks the most beautiful if I'm serving, and then I have one to eat later on.
Smart. Thank you for
Guests
that.
Don't have to know you did it twice.
That's my most helpful tip of the whole day. Thank you, Steph.
All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. For more information, head to stephaniesdish.com. That's all I took out of that is just make 2. After the break, will Rebecca find love after going home for the holidays? The wait is over. We've got producer Ted's latest Christmas movie review when we come back.
The suspense. It's killing me.
Talk to me.
You were the one that decided that we shouldn't even be friends. You chose her over me. You know what, I was so mad at you. I was so mad, and I couldn't even be honest with myself about it.
I know, it was wrong. She felt threatened, and honestly, looking back, she had good reason to feel that way.
You boxed me out of your life.
I was in a serious relationship. She gave me an ultimatum. Obviously, I regret that decision, but at the time, I felt like...
That Christmas, after college, you were 20 feet from my parents' house, and you sent a text. You sent me a text saying that we couldn't see each other again.
I know.
Oh, who knows? That is a clip from The Christmas Aunt, starring Keisha Knight-Pulley, and is part of Lifetime's slate of holiday movies called It's a Wonderful Christmas.
Sure is. Does Rebecca ever forgive Drew for that heartbreak decades ago? As we said, the suspense is killing us. And that means we got to bring in Ted for America Loves Ted.
Have you seen that one yet? The Ted Reviews Christmas movie?
That was new too.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
Good morning.
Hi, Ted. You're in the control room, aka Christmas Room of America. I feel like we need to get different colors for different themes with what you're doing.
There is a red one. I could have done red.
I feel like you should work on that for next time. Okay, The Christmas Aunt. What
Or
in the
aunt.
world? Aunt? Oh.
Depends on where you're from.
Okay, well, in Minnesota, I'm pretty sure it's aunt, but we can continue. What's the movie about?
So this is Rebecca, as we mentioned. Rebecca goes back home to Tennessee, where she's got her sister decides to go on vacation for two weeks. So she goes to visit to take care of her kids, of her sister's kids, and she tries to. They're not in the Christmas spirit at this point, so she tries to get them festived up. And so the movie is she getting them into Santa Claus again, and then she meets Drew, and all those feelings come back.
Oh. Could you see her as anybody other than Rudy Huxtable from The Cosby Show?
Well, actually, I was going to say, we all know her from Celebrity Big Brother.
Do we?
Of course, that's where you'd go.
She lasted like 2 weeks.
Oh. So how was the acting? We saw a little brief clip.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't like last week's acting. That was a real doozy.
Rave reviews.
Yeah, they were. It was, good enough. They did a fine job.
Okay. I cannot wait to sign up for another movie called Good Enough Acting.
Okay. Good enough.
It's good enough. All right. Normally, you're all about the Hallmark life. but we moved over to Lifetime. Where was this decision? Walk us through your decision-making process here, Ted.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I wasn't getting enough substance from Hallmark, so I wanted to see if Lifetime was going to go a little deeper.
And?
Yeah, I mean, they're sure, maybe a smidge deeper. Maybe we had a little more plot twists than your average Hallmark movie. So, Lifetime, they're creatives.
They're coming through.
Yeah.
All right, you have your checklist. Shall we go through it to see if all the hallmarks were there?
Let's go through it.
Okay. Big city girl goes back to small town. You already mentioned that.
Well,
sort of.
This is up for debate. So she is big city girl, Los Angeles.
Of course.
And she goes back to her hometown of Nashville.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
so half credit.
Okay.
It's smaller.
Smaller. Okay. Next, a kiss in a gazebo.
No.
How dare they?
No.
Where do they kiss? Is there some other special location? Magical
I was trying to
spot?
remember this morning where they kissed. I couldn't remember.
Oh, so not that magical.
Yeah.
Okay, and a new one. Was there a scene where they made Christmas cookies? We just got done making pies. Oh.
Check.
Oh, thank God.
The big check. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And they made snow. They did everything.
Oh, good. This was another new one from a viewer. Did you know how this would end up before the first commercial?
I actually didn't. I wasn't quite sure where this was going to go. Halfway through, I would say an hour through of the 2 hours, I knew where this was going.
Okay, that's
So,
a surprise
progress.
too. And a rating, finally, what would you give it?
So remember last week we really hit the Hallmark movie hard. So this week it was a little better. So Leo, a little better, just a smidge better. We're gonna give it a crown and a half.
Oh, wow.
Big
whole
ratings.
Extra crown.
Wait, how many crowns can you get again? 4?
4 or 5.
Oh, depending on the day.
4 or 5. So no rules for this.
Okay.
Cool. All right, Ted, thanks for joining us, as always.
Thank you.
Oh, Lordy. All right, everybody, grab another cup of coffee. We will be right back.
4 or 5 crowns. Welcome back. The Jason Show on this Thursday. The Shendel Show for today, at least. You can stay connected with us, by the way, on social media. So check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Jason Show TV. What's your favorite, Kendall?
The gram.
Yep.
I'm
with
big
you
on the
that
gram.
too.
Loving the gram.
Okay.
Gram is good. So send us a message. Hang out with us. Jason Show
Be nice.
TV. We will be right back to wrap up the show.
Speaking of, we need to take a picture. She was controversial. A Thursday throwback for you on this day in 1984. Madonna released her iconic Like a Virgin album. It was her second album, first to go #1. She became the first female in history to sell more than 5 million copies of an album in the U.S.
Really? I didn't know she was the first.
I didn't either.
I didn't either until I just read that. That was interesting.
I didn't write it, yeah.
Okay, welcome back to the show, everybody. We're wrapping things up, and as you know, that now means gumball goodbye.
You mean the vending machine,
yes,
as I called it.
The vending machine.
Do you get to open, does Jason always get to open these?
Yes.
I feel like we should give you the opportunity.
I don't really want to.
I'm not going to now because now I've been, I'm actually.
It looks actually.
Hold on.
Very. It's just wrapping up the show in 1 minute and 20 seconds, Shane. Oh, she did it.
Wow.
Good job.
Did you put that together, Jeff?
He did.
I feel like I've been sabotaged. All right. Oh, okay. Who is your ultimate dream interview?
Oh, you go first.
I would say Justin Timberlake because, I have like a thing for him, but I kind of got to be in the room with him, so I feel like I need to come up with somebody better than that now. And I'm sure everybody else is agreeing at home too.
Yeah.
Who's yours?
I would do any of the royals. I would love to sit down with Harry and Meghan. Oh my gosh. I'd probably just do this the whole time though.
Well, that's not going to be a very good interview.
I know.
So I would work on like your opening line and stuff.
I know. I should work on that. You never know. You guys call me. Tomorrow on the show, meet a local woman in her 20s helping women look their best through eyelashes and eyebrows. I'm taking you to the Lab Collective tomorrow on the show, and let me tell y'all, I love her. Okay. I love her. You're gonna really like this. It's a good feel-good little piece. She's a successful woman in her 20s. I'm into it.
Love it.
I love it. And probably Shane and I will be back.
Yep.
Well, I think that was where the applause comes in, Jeff.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.